I'm just hanging out and having some lunch sitting in the Walmart parking lot. Um, I had an idea regarding the issue with gun control, specifically focusing on automatic weapons or, I guess, semi automatic, those that are a big issue. So, the idea is that the Second Amendment actually has a purpose. I'm trying to be real careful with my words here. The purpose for the Second Amendment is so that people can have a legal right not only to acquire and store and keep a reasonable weapon to be able to defend themselves, to defend their property, to defend their home, be it a vehicle in terms of property of animal or something of value or their own family or themselves and certainly their own home. The Second Amendment is not there so that people can go and enjoy some sporty idea of what their collector's idea, collector's attitude with military weapons. Automatic and semi-automatic weapons, I haven't done any research on this, but I'm pretty sure that they came and they were created for the purpose of war. Now, here's a flip side of the Second Amendment that people need to understand. The Second Amendment is also the foundation of where the United States military evolved from. The Second Amendment also has to do with that. So, if you're kind of exercising domestic terrorism, okay, to be able to keep these assault weapons. I see all these bumper stickers and all this flags and t-shirts and social media posts and blogs and such, and everybody's like, come and take them. Well, so that's what they need to do. They need to come and take them. And they'll start by taking them from the manufacturers. Then they'll go and take them from the people that are distributing them, the sellers. And then eventually, once all is said and done, they'll come and they'll take them from individual households. And they'll be using the National Guard military operatives to do this. This isn't going to be some civilian, oh, we're going to come collect your stuff. There's going to be nothing like that. I wish it didn't have to get to that. But the idea is you can have as many shotguns, handguns, whatever variation of guns you want to have. But there's no need for you to have all those rounds in one weapon. And when push comes to shove, we have to do what's best for people. These school shootings wouldn't be such a major issue if it weren't for those type of weapons being accessible by civilian, unlicensed individuals. I wouldn't even want those type of weapons to be with civilian law enforcement. It's too dangerous. And so, those are military grade weapons. They need to stay in the military, in the hands of the military. And so it sucks, guys, but you gotta have to kind of come to terms with it. There's no need for those type of weapons to be on our streets. Period. There's no need for them to be manufactured outside of military complexes. There's no need for people to profiteer so that they can make money off of them. There's no need for all that. You can have as many shotguns, as many pistols, as many silencers, and all the cool gadgets you want to. And I don't know all the different type of guns, obviously, because I'm stuck on shotguns and pistols. But you get the idea of it, okay? Those type of weapons are dangerous. So what the president should do, we should take advantage of having a Democratic president. And we should go and we should say, okay, we need an executive order. What they do is they take it to the Supreme Court. They say, okay, I understand your Second Amendment rights and this and this and that, but this, you'd go, and hopefully I'm right about the origin of these types of weapons. And if they were originally, the original patents were for military purposes, then I guess it's a done deal right there, right? Maybe not, but it gives a better idea. It gives a better idea of what those were made for and why they're used the way they are. But if the Supreme Court shoots it down and they still don't agree, then there's always the UN Security Council. Because when push comes to shove, all this stuff is going around the world. Our senators, our congressmen, our military leaders, etc., everybody's so upset with what's going on that they're not able to function and do their job properly. They're too traumatized. So when push comes to shove, it is an international security issue. I know that's kind of way out there and kind of digging desperately, but it will make sense if you really think about it. But domestic terrorism is something that shouldn't be tolerated. Are you going to tell the military, dare them to come and take your weapons because they're military grade weapons and you never should have had them in the first place? Okay, if you're going to fight them, I hope you die. Get the National Guard out there and everybody else. Start with the manufacturer. Start with the people that are selling them. Get a list of all the serial numbers in the United States. Find a way to access them. Now once you stop the distribution and you stop the sales and you get a hold of all the online sales and all the stuff like that, then you can go and might not have to go to actual people's houses and estates and take their stuff. But we need to get those types of weapons off the street. There's no need for those to be advertised online. There's no need for those to be sold. They should be registered on a very specific registry for whoever does own them personally. And it should be a easily accessible registry, like for law enforcement and people that might be able to locate, oh, well, I don't know what happened to that weapon. I thought I lost it when I moved, or, got lost in storage, or somebody stole it, and then they find your weapon, whatever. There's all kinds of avenues we can take. But the fact of the matter is these need to stop being produced on civilian shelves. It's really tragic how this thing in Nashville just went down. And I'm fairly certain it has everything to do with the transgender movement and everything to do with a religious oppression. The hypocrisy of the church is an absolute disaster. It doesn't equate to that. It doesn't. Not like that. It does not. You want to start some idea of a crusade, I mean, whatever. That's your prerogative. You know the consequences. You do what you do. But when you go into a Christian elementary school, these are people that obviously have mental illness because they think they can have a vagina and still be declared a man. When are we going to accept that mental illness, and I declare that in my mind, thus I am? It doesn't work that way. You can't dictate to science like that. It just doesn't work. But I guarantee you this was part of that movement, as well as a religious lashing, like a religious reactivity from the religious oppression. Let me know what you think in the comments.